I get a lot of people asking me how we were blessed to walk away from corporate America in our early 30s. Well, listen, I don't want to keep that a secret. I want to share it with the world. And so maybe you're listening to this podcast and you're trying to figure out, how do I even get started on my journey of entrepreneurship and getting to a level of freedom? Well, text the word freedom to 737-777 9909. Enter your information in, and we look forward to sharing some information with you. A proven system with small overhead, right? That you can do part-time, spare time, right from the comfort of your home, and have amazing mentors, coaches, and a community of entrepreneurs who are willing to support you and help you on your journey to freedom. Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales. Have you ever felt stuck? Have you ever felt like there's got to be more than life than the reality that you see every day? Tune in weekly, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as we crack the codes to freedom in every area of your life. Welcome to Code Freedom. This is your host, Eddie Bales, and this is episode 204. And this is going to be an exciting episode, in my opinion, because I believe this is going to unlock some of the challenges that you may have been facing as it relates to uh, just staying on the journey of freedom, right? Because it is a journey. It's not something that just happens. If freedom was going to be free, everybody would have it. But the reality is, it's a journey, and it's going to cost you something. But there's no sacrifice that doesn't have a great reward. And so here's the deal, guys. The reason why, especially as an entrepreneur or just someone who is a self starter, who are you accountable to, right? Most of the time you have no one. That's the whole point of being free, is to have no one to be accountable to. But I'm here to dispel that myth, because sometimes you need to be accountable to someone, right? Because sometimes we just won't be accountable to ourselves, right? And so you want to have an accountability partner. You want to have somebody who's going to keep you accountable to what you said that you would do. And look, I talk about this in my business all the time, but just recently, I was able to take advantage of this concept, even in my workout, because you guys know, if you follow me for any time, that working out and just that whole thing hasn't always been on the top of my to-do list, right? Although I know it's important, and I know that it's obviously health is wealth, and of course it's the one of the most important things. However, don't get me wrong, I work out, but I hadn't always done it consistently like I should. And hey, I think there are a lot of people listening to this podcast who could probably agree and say the same thing, right? Well, so recently, I had an accountability partner, and we decided to do a challenge. We decided to do a push-up challenge. And so what we have to do is 300 push-ups a day, and we have to let each other know when we got it done. That's it, right? And we do it every single day. And I got to tell you, my arms are about to fall off, right? I mean, I've been doing these push-ups for the last several days, and it's kicking my butt. But I love it because I feel I have to report, so I get it done. And that's the part that I like about it. And so, who are you accountable to? Who is holding you accountable? Who's stretching you? Now, you got to have a good accountability partner. You can't have someone who is, not going to check on you and not going to make sure that you do what you said you were going to do, right? Because look, we would do that on our own, not do what we're supposed to do, right? The whole point of an accountability partner is to have someone who will. And so you're checking on them, they're checking on you to make sure you get it done, you checking on them to make sure they got it done, and boom, everybody grows together. And that's the whole point. Oftentimes, a lot of entrepreneurs, because they're self-starters and because they don't want a boss, because they don't want someone telling them what to do, I get it, because I'm that way. But we have to have someone that could at least guide us and keep us accountable to what we said we would do, because we let ourselves off the hook way too much. Let's just be honest. We do it, right? I mean, we say, hey, you know what? Tonight's night was a rough night. Today was a rough day. I'm gonna just take a break, and then I'll get back on it tomorrow. And then tomorrow never comes. You know why? Because to the next day we have an excuse, and the following day we have an excuse, and then every day after that we have an excuse. Instead of saying, "Look, no, today I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna specifically schedule time to do it, and then I'm going to make sure that I get it done. It's in my calendar, it's scheduled, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna block time off for it. And then you have someone to keep you accountable to make sure that you did what you said you would do, because commitment is doing things in the every episode we talk about stretching ourselves and growing ourselves and becoming better. And I get it. You're busy, you're on the go. You don't always have time to stop and maybe read a book. Well, listen, I got the perfect thing for you. You're probably familiar with Audible. Audible is an audiobook service from Amazon, and they offer the world's biggest selection of books. I'm talking any book that I've recommended, and I've recommended a lot. You can get that book and you can listen to it on the go while you're in the car. Why not turn your car into Drive Time University? And for listening to this podcast, you can get your first 30 days free on us. So go to audibletrial.com/code freedom. That's audibletrial.com/code freedom. And we'll also put that in the show notes. So that just basically means the mood is gone, but you're still committed to it. You're still willing to do it, even if you don't feel like it, even if it's uncomfortable, just like we talked about a few episodes ago, even if it's inconvenient, we still go for it because that's what we said that we needed to do. That's what we have made a commitment to do. And obviously we made a commitment for a reason, because we knew it would better ourselves. We knew it would be the right thing to do. We knew it would help us. We, like I said, I say this a lot, but we know what to do. We just don't often do what we know. And having an accountability partner, that's why people have personal trainers. I mean, to be honest with you, all a personal trainer really is, don't get me wrong, they're giving you advice and stuff like that. But more than anything, it's an accountability partner. Someone to say, hey, we're going to work out this many times a week. You're going to pay me, and I'm going to work out with you and show you what to do in your workout. So not only are they giving you their expertise during the workout, but they're also being a sense of accountability for you. I'll never forget years ago, I got up early in the morning to go to a Bible study. And I mean, it was early. And I'm not an early person. So it was a challenge for me to get up early and get dressed and all that other stuff to go to this Bible study. But I was really excited and focused on my growth. And so I didn't have a car at the time. I mean, I was a teenager. And so thankfully I had someone who was willing to come and pick me up. And that was a sense of accountability, because I couldn't not go if he was willing to come and pick me up. I mean, he was going out of his way to pick me up. So if he's willing to drive and pick me up, I better at least be up and be ready and waiting for him, right? And so again, there's so many different um, opportunities we can have for accountability. And here's a suggestion. I would suggest you have accountability in every area that you want to grow in, which should be all areas, right? You don't want to just grow in some areas and not in the other. So you should have an accountability partner who will make sure you said your affirmations. Have an accountability partner who will say, hey, did you read your 10 pages today? Have an accountability partner who say, hey, did you get your sit-ups, your push-ups, or your 10,000 steps, or whatever you're doing? Did you get that in today? And man, just imagine if you had at least 7 different accountability partners that can hold you accountable to every area. Man, you would be unstoppable, right? Because you're getting stuff done and you're doing it consistently. You're allowing it to compound. If I could be honest with you, the reason why most people don't succeed is because they take actions like a microwave. They put it in, take it out, put it in, take it out, and the popcorn never pops. Right? We had an episode where we talk about popcorn, the whole idea, the philosophy behind it. So the thing is, we got to be consistent. And let's just be honest, most people are just not consistent, especially on their own. So that accountability partner really comes into play. Even if we're consistent, we sometimes fall off. And that's why we need the help. Somebody who can say, hey, I got you. I'm holding you accountable. Get it done. Let me know when you got it done. And I'm telling you, that goes such a long way if you really think about it, because there's things that we know we just got to get done, and for whatever reason, we're not doing it. And look, I'm speaking to myself because there's some things that I got to still check the boxes on. And if I just had an accountability partner to say, "Hey, how you looking on that book? How you looking on this? How you looking on that?" Then I would probably have that kick in the pants to say, "Okay, let me buckle down. Let me schedule this." and let me go ahead and get it done. So listen, I hope this episode was valuable for you. This is episode 204 of the Code Freedom Podcast, and I cannot wait to see you on the next episode. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for listening. Definitely feel free to take a screenshot of this episode, tag me in it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you find me on social media. I would love to give you a shout out. Hey, you might even get a prize. Who knows? But excited that you had a chance to take a listen. I hope you got a lot of value. And definitely feel free to give us 5 stars as well as a review. Show us some love, and we appreciate you. God bless you all, and see you all over the top.